Alright, this is the unboxing of the Acturus M4 AEG Airsoft gun. Look at the model number here. There we go. SR16 CQB Ambi AEG AT-AR02CQ. There you go. That is the model. Alright, let's go ahead and open it. Ignore that. That is my Lancer Tactical M4 with the suppressor. I heard that's not even a real thing, but it's an Airsoft creation. Do like it. However, it's low FPS. It's great for CQB. So I was looking for something that's 400 FPS for outdoor use at AOs like Zulu 24, etc. So, unboxing. Let's go. Nice box, right? Let's see if this is live. There we go. And here we go. Oh. Manuals. Stuff. Here we go. Let's see what we got in here. Let's see what we got in here first. Is this a patch or a, what is this? Is this a drink? Is this a drink coaster? What is this? I have no idea what this is. Is this a drink coaster? It's kind of weird. Maybe I will put my drink on this. No idea what this is. It appears to be a drink coaster. I guess this is the swag portion of the, you know, they give you some swag, I guess, right? So, I don't know what this is either. This looks like a...
Oh, that's for your wrist, right?
Wrist sweatband or something?
Yeah,
I don't know about this, guys. Actually, I know Kirk Hammett. You ever see Kirk Hammett, the guitarist from Metallica? He puts something around his wrist and then he plays the guitar. So he's, believe it or not, he does that because when he slams on the guitar, the way he plays it, he doesn't want his hand to bleed from the playing that guitar because he slams it on the you know, guitar. But oh well, swag. I guess they give you some swag, right? So now this, it appeared to be ignore the choppers. Appeared to be some earplugs. I thought it was no. This looks like a Dean's to Tamiya connector. That's what it looks like. Really enjoying using my Canon M50 mirrorless for this unboxing rather than my phone. I'm gonna continue to do that. And here we go. Here's the Acturus M4. I think it's called something else, but we'll just go like that. But it is a 10-inch barrel. I'm going to show that to you in a second. Alright, I got my measuring tape. This is about, I believe it's a 10-inch, yep, 10-inch barrel. Well, the handguard is 10 inches. If you were to include the flash hider, it's going to be about 12 inches total, right? We know that your regular M4 is about a 16-inch barrel, so check that out. the difference as far as the length goes, right? So yeah, this is your gun right here. Let's first check out the metal here. Let's see what's going on. Right, off the bat, you can already tell that there's a magazine release on the left side, right? Obviously, there's a magazine release on the right side as well. But the beauty of this is that you're able to release that magazine or do your reloads with your left hand as needed. For example, let's say this was in my left hand. I want to do a reload. Simply hit this, and I'm able to get that magazine out. All right. Fresh mag, and I would tap the bolt catch right here, which is also ambidextrous. And keep in mind, you do not need to tap the bolt catch in order for you to, chamber another round or whatever. So this is just for show. However, it does have a functional, it is functional in the sense that when you access your hop up with your charging handle, you are able to adjust your hop up, and when you're done, simply hit that bolt catch to release it. All right? You can do the same thing with the other side. Hit that bolt catch right here, and you're going to release it. Which is a really nice feature. These Lancer Tactical, for example, does not have that feature. Right? You would just simply have to when this is back, there you pretty much have to hold this back here and adjust your hop up, which can be pretty annoying. Right? So that is one of the features of this gun. The another thing is there's a lot of ambidextrous controls here. Yeah, one of them is the selector switch, semi, full auto. Let's zoom in on that. All right. There we go. All right. Very tactile. It feels like it's struggling here in the middle though, which is kind of weird. See that? It doesn't go straight to semi. There's like this weird middle ground here, right? See how it feels as I'm holding it. All right. I will also say I'm not used to ambi safeties, but what I will say is, as I'm manipulating this with my left hand, I'm feeling it move around, almost interrupting my finger position here. It's kind of weird. Not used to that. Right? I can see why DJ Shipley from GBRS, even Slade, they're not fans of ambi safeties. So take that into consideration if you are getting this. Right? It does feel kind of weird. Let's try it on the left side. Right? So when you're shooting left-handed and you don't have an ambi safety, you would do this. Right? You would not do this. Never put your thumb here. That's just inconvenient. you would just do that. Right? But now with this ambi safety, you're able to do this. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, check this out. It's not even moving to semi. It seems like it had some difficulty. All right. So I would say don't be gentle with it. If you're being too gentle, it's not gonna go out. You gotta be a little rough with it. Right? Let's talk about the trigger. Right? You feel a click, you feel the wall of the trigger, and then you are feeling that click, right? You feel like there's a wall. I don't know if this is a two-stage trigger or anything like that. I will have to test it out with the battery. But so far it does seem pretty interesting. Because I will say, I don't think the Lancer has something like that. I will say I do like the Lancer's safety better. Right? It just feels more, there's no like weird middle ground thing going on. With the Lancer though, you do not feel the wall of the trigger. You do not feel it. So I do like that. If this is a two-stage trigger, I do like it much better. So what else does it come with? Looks like flip-up sights, right? I think it's metal. Yep, it's metal. This is the front side post, and this is the rear side post. Yep, it's all metal. This is a metal flash hider that they do include, right? Metal flash hider. Really nice, right? Because the one they include is a plastic bird cage, right? Not very visual, right? The aesthetics on this is whatever. You know, nobody likes plastic orange tips. Magazine-wise, they do include two metal magazines, Stanag style. This is a mid-cap, not sure how many rounds, and this is a high cap right here, right? High cap. This is your mid-cap right here. So. It does feel a little bit longer though than some other magazines. I guess it just depends on what magazine you buy and such. So, accessing the battery compartment, right? Simply pull down on this lever. Open this. Now this is kind of weird, and this is what I've saw in other videos and what folks have been saying. This thing completely unnecessary, right? I mean, I get it. It looks like a real gun because this is here, but other than that, there's no real purpose or function to this other than making it look more real or something. But this is where you access the battery. So this appears that it comes standard with your Dean's connector. It does have a adapter. A Dean's to Tamiya connector, right? So you got two options. If you already have your butterfly batteries already with the Tamiya connector, then you probably will need to use this, and then but there you go. It's hooked up, pretty easy. I guess the alternative is you could buy butterfly batteries with a Dean's connector. I've never owned any, but I will say that it's much easier to connect Dean's than Tamiya. If you're used to these Tamiya connectors, you know they can be tricky to plug in. So we'll just leave it like that. This is kind of weird though, how you would access this, the battery compartment in this crane stock. Alright, so I think I figured out how to get the battery in. You unscrew a couple of these notches right here. Alright, you see these things? Put the wire in first, right? With the wire facing inwards, insert the battery, and then hook it up to the Dean's connector. Stick it in. The other one. And it's pretty secure right now, so. Alright, long story short, finally got this in. You just get, when you're in reinserting the stock, ignore the cat, by the way. Get out of there. So when you're reinserting the stock, you just gotta make sure you have this rotated fully. Otherwise, it's not gonna go in. So. Lift on the stock, the lever on the stock, and you should be able to get this back in. There we go. There's no need to remove the rubber. I was just trying to get the stock open. But again, no need to remove the rubber. So. There we go, it's back. Now I'm kind of curious how it would perform with a 9.6 volt nunchuck battery. Let's see how it goes. This is a little firing test right here. There's no ammo in the weapon. Alright, that's how it sounds. Again, I'm going to try to see if this is indeed some kind of two-stage trigger situation. Yeah, this is the wall of the trigger, and then as soon as you get past that wall, it will fire. So you can do stuff like, you know, going to semi and automatically having your finger half press the trigger to the wall. Right? It's a new thing I picked up from GBRS. You ready to fire? Right? There we go. now let's set up this gun how I want it set up. You also note quick release attachments for the sling. You'll notice it on the sides, sorry, on the lower receiver. You'll notice it on the stock, on the bottom of the stock. Pretty interesting. I usually never use that bottom. On the right side as well, and of course on the right side of the barrel as well, or the handguard rather. It's also on both sides of the stock, which is nice. So you have a lot of options. I will probably be running my sling on the lower receiver and the right side of the handguard. So let's set this up. What do we want to put on here? By the way, it also includes some accessories, grips and such. This is probably for here, right? For the pistol grip. This is probably for the back here, depending on the size of your hand. So this would come off, and then this would just simply attach here like that. So don't think I'm worried about that. So not even sure how to do it, but not really worried about that right now. Gotta start with putting the aim point, more like the EOTech rather. I do have this on a riser mount, so we're getting this EOTech out. This is the replica version, by the way. I would have thought an Allen wrench would work on a Torx screw, but it does. Alright, let's put that right here. It's almost like one screw is looser than the other. Alright, that's pretty secure. On the EOTech, I do have some Lexan glass here to protect the EOTech. Alright, I think that's the length that I like. Right. So now, let's see what else we can put on here. We've got the PEC 15, also a replica. Now luckily there's Picatinny rails on the top, right? So you don't have to worry about adapters or anything like that. we go. Starting to look good already. Next we'll do the bottom, which is the grip. I'm pretty much stripping the Lancer AEG or M4 of all these parts to be used on the Acturus. And I gotta say, one new thing for me when it comes to M-lock rails, and by the way, this is metal, right? Definitely get what you pay for, but 100 more than this gun, which is, check this out, all plastic, right? So, how the M-lock system works, if you want to mount something with Picatinny rails, you pretty much have to install those Picatinny rails wherever you want them. So in this case, we've got these rails here. And for this actually smells a little fragrant, kind of weird. Made in China. Yeah, very weird. So I think this would fit this perfectly, right? So we're gonna go ahead and use this. Then it's a matter of where you want that placed. Probably here. I feel this would be too close. This would be too far up because you do want that room for your wrist and your hand to grip that. Right. So again, the M-lock rails are new to me. So this is my first time actually installing Picatinny rail on an M-lock rail. Alright, so I think I got the hang of it as far as how to install these M-lock rails. So you're gonna have to pre-tighten these rails on here prior to even trying to lock it on there, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. And you don't want it fully tight, you just want it kind of snug. And then you want to rotate it to fully lock it into place, right? And you want to start with that horizontal position. Like so. So I'm going to put it on the bottom. This is where I want it. Alright, you can already feel that it's not going anywhere. Then I'm going to rotate it with my Allen key right here. It might have been too tight. I like this on the other side because I don't like to feel this on my wrist, right? There we go. Let's make sure this is, how does that feel? Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. This is how I like to index my weapon right here. Access your laser, right? Feels pretty good. Alright, what else can we put on here? Do have a flashlight as well. right? I'm gonna try putting it on the front here, see if it works out. All right, GBRS style push button, right? We don't want any pressure pads for accidentally discharging that white light. These do come with rechargeable batteries. This is made by Fiachi or something. It's pretty cheap on Amazon. Well, it looks like they included 2 batteries, and this takes only 1 battery. So, I suppose you can have a backup in case you run out of juice. Do include a battery charger as well. It also looks like it came charged. Does not appear to have any modes or anything, just on or off. Does not have a zoom capability either. This particular flashlight model does come with an M-lock adapter, which is this. Alright, let's go ahead and install the flashlight using the M-lock mount, right? Because I did not want to use an adapter. If I can go all the way, M-lock all the way, definitely do that. So let's go over to the front. Again, so far I'm pretty impressed with the M-lock system. And it's my first time using it. So usually I mount the flashlight on the other side, but the way GBRS does it is on the left side, and you're able to simply push that button to activate your white light. A whole bunch of Torx screws. You also want this as far forward as possible because you don't want it to interfere with your hand positioning. I think I would just have it all the way up here. All right, let's see how this feels. Heavy, and I want to say it does seem comfortable, right? I don't know if this is the most comfortable, but I do think this is better off on that right side. But then again, how often are you going to use white light? So, a lot of things to consider. All right, so we've got the flashlight, we've got the PEC 15, we've got the EOTech, we've got the vertical grip here. I do like it so far. Right? What else does it need? Probably the sling. That's probably the last thing. Actually, not the last thing, but maybe the second last thing. So, as you can see on the Lancer, I did install on the Picatinny rail a QD attachment point. That is not necessary with the Acturus M4 because it does have that QD attachment points in the rails, in the lower receiver, and the stock. So I'm just gonna try it in the lower receiver and the handguard right here. Now the only thing is that when you transition, how would that work if you were to attach it to that lower receiver? When you transition, how would that work? So we're gonna have to do a little test here. But besides that, I probably need some kind of elastic in order to hold the sling like in place like this. I do know T-Rex Arms sells them. Not sure where, if anyone else has them. I do know you can probably make your own as well. So last thing would be, well, a couple last things. The rail covers, right? These look like Magpul replicas. And the other thing would be to attempt to install the metal flash hider here, right? First you got to take the plastic one off. And you know what? I probably would not mind installing the flip-up sights for the front, just for the looks. Not that I'm going to use it. So how this works is simply flip it up and boom, you've got your flip up sight, right? Which side is the front? I would assume this would be the front because you would rotate that dial here when adjusting it. go. Flip up sight. Just for the hell of it, right? So let's work on our second last thing. I'm gonna worry about the flash hider later though. And I'm kind of glad everything came in on time, because I like to do one video in one session and not worry about it on another day. So these are your replica Magpul rail M-lock rail covers, right? Take the metal off. I think you installed this first, and then you place the cap over it. I believe that's how it works. So we're gonna cover up anything that's any M-lock rails that are exposed, and these do not feel uncomfortable on the hand, don't get me wrong, but I do feel that it's gonna be much more comfortable with those rail covers on here. So I can see already 1, 2, 3 slots right here can be covered. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 on the bottom, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and install these rail covers. Again, this is a 2-step process. I'm going to start with this right here. All right, fits in there pretty snugly, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and yeah. So what I will notice already is that this has some stippling on it, right? This adds a texture and something to really grip onto. I'm also curious if this would work without taking this cover off. Is that possible? Let's find out. No, it does not go on there without these things coming off. So you do have to take these off first, install it, and then insert the cover. That's the way you do it. This did come with a pack of about 12, so I think that's gonna be good, and hopefully it does cover everything that I want to cover. Super easy to do. I'm very surprised at just how easy this is. So lastly, we got the bottom. Actually, we're done with the bottom. So we've pretty much covered every available M-lock rail, covered every piece of real estate with this M-lock covers. And I gotta say, again, really nice texture, that stippling, right? Really nice. It feels super solid, and yeah, it even looks good. It even looks good. The only thing is, I can't say this is very comfortable. I might switch the flashlight over or get a different flashlight mount where it's going to be mounted farther up, because is not comfortable, unless maybe I put the grip farther up. Then I can see it being possibly more comfortable. So I might just do that. But that's it for now. Next, we're gonna have to stand up, manipulate this rifle with the sling, and do some adjustments with the sling. Make sure everything is gonna be good to go, and also test it out while wearing gear, and we'll see how that goes. How to remove an orange tip from your airsoft gun. This is a Acturus M4 AEG. This is how I remove the orange tip. Step one, you're going to need a drill, and you want to drill around the pin here. There's a pin. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that. As you can see, there's a pin there. That pin needs to be removed. So you drill around that pin, and then you pry little plastic pieces around it. Eventually, this will protrude. That pin is going to protrude. Let's see where you can see. That pin is going to protrude from that orange tip. You can then grab it, and it's going to be, and you're going to grab it about like that. And you're going to pull, and it will come out, right? Right from there. Once you take it out, simply twist that flash hider. This is the birdcage flash hider on the Acturus M4. I used these pliers. Other people use AR tool wrenches and such. I just used this. It worked no problem. It wasn't very hard. And once you get that initial turn, it should start to rotate. And right now, I'm gonna remove it. Zoom in here for you. And because it's threaded, it's gonna come off. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. And now you can install whatever custom flash hiders, suppressors, etc. that you want. There we go. It's off, right? Here's another close-up of the flash hider. You can see the damage I did to it just so I can get it off, right? Let's take a look at the threadings on here on the gun. So looks like there was some glue here as well, right? I can clean that off or whatever. Not too worried about it. What I do want to install on there is Acturus. And I know not many airsoft makers do this. At least I know Lancer does not. I know G&G does not. But Acturus does provide you with a flash hider. And I think that looks much nicer than your standard bird cage, I think, right? So it has threadings on here. And I'm assuming it's just going to go right on there and screw right in. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's not screwing on. If you look at this flash hider, you will see the threadings are a little bit further down, right? So I don't know if something else has to come off. I am seeing this thing right here. It feels like there's an additional something here. It almost feels like this is a spacer. Let me switch this for you. There we go. So you can see here, it almost looks like there's some kind of spacer thing going on here. gonna go. It is unscrewable. Seems to be coming off. And hopefully after removing this, it will allow us to install our metal flash hider. Well, I just rotated it about 50 times and absolutely nothing is happening. I think it's metal, so I don't think we want to just break it off. Actually, I'm going to try this again. This time I'm putting much more force. Okay, so it seems like I was just screwing it the wrong way. So it looks like you're going to go lefty-loosey to tighten it, which is kind of weird because I could have swore I unscrewed it with lefty-loosey as well. Kind of weird, right? So let's say you want to, so this is how it looks. I think it looks pretty good actually. Let's say we want to put the orange tip on. Let's say a field is very strict maybe. I don't know what fields you guys play at. And they say, hey, you gotta have your orange tip. Or maybe you're transporting it and you know, you don't want any possibility of it to be confused with a real firearm. Let's see how easy it is to reinstall that plastic tip. You might want to keep it just in case for, you know, specific fields or strictly for transport. Lefty-loosey to, it's not lefty-loosey now, it's lefty-tighty and righty-loosey. So, there we go, pretty easy, right? You don't have to unscrew any little pins every time you install them. So, there you go. Now, my next task is finding a suppressor to fit this, and that's what I'll be doing. So, how to remove and replace your orange tip with a black metal flash hider.